What if I told you that one of the most dangerous serial killers in American history didn't look dangerous at all? He looked normal, charming, even likable. Today, we're talking about Ted Bundy, and more importantly, the psychology behind his charm. Because here's the uncomfortable truth: sometimes evil doesn't look like a monster. Sometimes, it smiles at you. Born in 1946 in Vermont, Bundy appeared to have a relatively normal upbringing. He was intelligent, politically active, studying law at one point, the kind of guy you wouldn't think twice about meeting. But during the 1970s, he committed a series of brutal murders across multiple states. And what made him especially terrifying wasn't just what he did, it was how he did it. He didn't hide in shadows. He didn't stalk like the stereotype of a criminal. He walked up to people. He talked to them. He gained their trust. And that's where psychology comes in. Let's pause for a second. Charm isn't just being attractive. It's not just confidence. Psychologically, charm is a mix of social intelligence, strong eye contact, controlled voice tone, active listening, making others feel important. A genuinely charming person makes you feel safe, seen, comfortable. And here's the scary part: charm itself isn't bad, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon. Bundy often pretended to be injured, wearing a fake cast or using crutches, asking women for help loading books into his car. Think about that for a second. He wasn't threatening, he wasn't aggressive, he was vulnerable. That flips the power dynamic. And once someone lowers the guard, that's when manipulation begins. He also charmed law enforcement. In interviews and court appearances, he was articulate, composed, even confident. Some officers reportedly underestimated him. And the media, they amplified his image of the handsome, intelligent killer, which created a disturbing fascination. Now let's dig deeper. Bundy showed traits commonly associated with narcissism: inflated self-importance, lack of empathy, psychopathy, shallow emotions, manipulative behavior, no remorse. Here's something important: psychopaths don't necessarily lack emotional intelligence. They often understand emotions very well. They just don't feel them the way others do. Bundy could read people. He could adjust his personality depending on who he was talking to. That adaptability made him incredibly dangerous. There's another psychological concept at play here: cognitive dissonance. That uncomfortable feeling when your instincts tell you one thing, but your perception tells you another. Many survivors later described feeling conflicted. He seemed so nice. I didn't want to believe something was wrong. That inner tension can delay reaction, and manipulators rely on that delay. Okay, let me step out of analysis mode for a second. Whenever I study cases like Bundy's, what unsettles me the most isn't just the violence. It's the normalcy, because it forces you to confront something uncomfortable. We're wired to trust charm. We're wired to respond to confidence and warmth. And honestly, most of us would probably trust a charming stranger over a socially awkward one. That realization is humbling. It makes you rethink how much of our judgment is based on surface-level impressions. And that's not paranoia, that's awareness. Bundy became what some call the perfect monster. Handsome, intelligent, articulate, deadly. Society tends to imagine evil as visibly broken or monstrous. But Bundy shattered that illusion. And that's part of why the public remains fascinated with him decades later. It's not admiration, it's confusion. How can someone appear so human and commit such inhuman acts? So what do we actually take away from all this? Charm does not equal character. Trust your instincts, even when someone seems too nice. Be aware of manipulation tactics like forced vulnerability. Teach emotional intelligence and critical thinking. The lesson isn't to distrust everyone. It's to balance warmth with awareness. Bundy's crimes changed how law enforcement approached serial offenses. They changed how media portrays criminals. And they sparked deeper conversations about psychopathy, manipulation, and victim advocacy. But most importantly, his story reminds us to center the victims, not the killer. Because while psychology helps us understand the behavior, empathy helps us remember the human cost. Ted Bundy's case forces us to confront a difficult truth: human nature is complex. Charm can build communities, or it can destroy lives. The difference lies in intention. And maybe the real takeaway here is this: evil doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it introduces itself with a smile.